Hey, what's up, YeouschSports? This is Tony, and I'm bringing you another NHL 12 Be a Pro. And this is the Canadian Hockey League. And so basically what I always do is I always create one character that I know I'm going to be playing for YouTube. And then I create another character that I usually play on like a personal account or whatever, just so I can, mess around, try different things, see how best to level up a character. And then I could translate that success or those failures into my YouTube characters. So Scott McLean is a character that I brought last time, and this is actually Sarah McLean. This is a female hockey player, and that's going to pretty much be the basis of this commentary. I'll say the second half of the commentary, because I do want to talk about a couple things first. So keep that in mind. We're going to get back to that later. The first thing I want to talk about is I want to thank you guys all for your comments. I got tons of comments on the last video, and I got a bunch of messages. So I really appreciate the messages. Please keep them coming, and I read them all, and I do my best to reply. And I really appreciate all the advice that you guys gave me. What I tried to do is I tried to translate that the advice you guys gave me from Scott McLean, who's a left wing, to Sarah McLean, who's a center. And so I did the best that I can to stay around the face-off circles on the ice, and just pretty much try not to be the guy who's like the kid who's running around chasing the puck around. And I got thinking about this, gosh, I think it was a couple of days ago. I got thinking about the whole idea about playing the game as if I was like a veteran. And that's not going to be, it's not going to be possible for me to do, because I've never played hockey beyond street hockey with a little orange ball on rollerblades when I was a kid, and I never learned organized hockey, so I don't know all the positions. So just be gentle with the comments sometimes, and please feel free to always give me advice. I'm wide open. I've already made it painfully obvious that I am not much of a hockey fan, and it's not because I don't want to be a hockey fan or I have something against hockey. It's just that I've never really been I've never really experienced hockey before. That being said, here it is. Today's Friday, and I was flipping channels while I was eating lunch, and I came across the Los Angeles Kings versus the Dallas Stars game, and I stopped to watch it for about, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. And it was interesting because I was approaching it from a different set of eyes. Usually if I watched it, I would be like, when are these guys going to fight? What's going to happen? And then now when I watch the game, I was watching for the offsides. Like, how do the professionals approach staying on sides? And everything happened so fast. I was actually kind of blown away about how fast things were going. And like in the hockey game, like in the video game in NHL 12, things happen relatively quickly, but I mean, you've got time to like move around. These guys were like, there were three guys approaching the line, heading towards the Dallas goal side of the goal, or whatever the term is. I don't even know, but they were coming across, and all three of them pretty much crossed the blue line at the same time. And so, I mean, the guy with the puck obviously crossed first, but like, it was very close, And the way they were coming back after the puck was hit back into the center of the rink, it was cool. It really was cool, and I definitely was looking at it from different eyes, and that was a really cool experience. So, anyways, Halloween is coming up. This is like a poor transition, but Halloween's coming up, and what are you guys gonna do for Halloween? And if this gets posted after Halloween is gone by, what did you guys do for Halloween, and hey, what did you guys dress up as? I'm gonna be going down to a party down in downtown San Diego in the Gas Lamp, and I'm gonna be dressed up as Waldo. Now, I did that a couple years back, but I went to Vegas instead, and it was a lot of fun, and it got a lot of attention being Waldo. And so it should be a good time tonight. I'm going with some school friends, and anyways, it'll be a good time. Nice to unwind, unload, if you will, after so many weeks of school so far, just kicking my ass. But anyways, I want to transition into the actual heart and soul of this commentary, and it has to do with the reason why I'm posting this female character, and that is the idea of putting female characters, creatable characters, inside of sports games now. There have been two games that I've actually played. One of them is Tiger Woods, like 2010 or whatever, and then now this game that have the ability to create female characters and have them play against men. And so basically what I want to know is, do you guys think that's a good thing? Do you think that more games should allow for created female characters to play against men. Because I mean, really, the reality of the situation is I'm trying to avoid the social, the social stigma, but it's going to be there no matter what. But the reality of the situation is that the character is just a skin. It doesn't really matter, because if you've got one that looks like a female and one that looks like a male, they're both essentially the same level of player, no matter what you do. So it really doesn't matter. So the whole debate on like, oh well, male players are better than female or whatever, females can't play at that level, it doesn't really matter, just because of the fact that, I mean, one, it's a video game, and two, that the character is the same no matter what. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. My opinion on on this matter is I think it's a good idea. I think it adds a different dynamic to the game, and for those women who do like playing sports games, it allows them an opportunity to play as a female character if they wish. I mean, I'm not gonna go out and assume that every single female that plays video games, and especially sports games, wants to play as a female character, because a good friend of mine is a huge baseball fan, and she, I asked her, like, hey, do you think, would you watch, I don't know, an all-women's baseball team? And she wasn't really interested in watching an all-women's baseball team. But it does make me consider, like, would I be opposed to, say, a woman playing in the majors, in baseball? And no, honestly not. If a woman can make it all the way to that level, and can hang in the major league level, it doesn't matter what your sex is, as long as you can participate and play and be a good player and hang around. So for me, honestly, I think it would be a good thing. I know that there's gonna be those people out there who don't like it at all, purists. So yeah, I'm just kind of trying to run that by you guys. It is kind of an interesting question, to be honest, because in this day of age, you think that they would allow it. It would be sort of, I don't know, second nature. But I know exactly what they're doing. They're following the way the sport is right now, because as far as I understand, there are no female athletes playing with men, and it'll probably remain that way until one of them breaks the sex barrier. I don't know. It's not really like the color barrier in baseball, but it's still a barrier. But I mean, here's kind of a case in point, and it's a really interesting conversation that I had recently with a friend of mine who's a motorcycle rider, and she was telling me that as a motorcycle rider, she believes that a man and a woman are the same skill level. They've been riding for the same amount of time, but she believes that the man is going to be a better motorcycle rider just because of the fact that he's got more quote-unquote balls. And I told her, I'm like, I don't really think that's true, because he might have the actual like physical cojones, but the thing is, though, as a woman trying to prove herself, I said, you have something to prove, so that gives you some cojones of your own. So I don't see that. I mean, motorsports is a little different because you're operating a machine as opposed to actually physically playing a sport, but I still think it would be a good thing. That's just sort of my belief. And I would love to get into a good conversation in the comment section about this, whether or not females, not necessarily within, say, like the actual sport itself, but just in video games. Do you think it would be one of those things that's worthwhile to add into a game, Maybe not. I don't know. That's why I'm asking, because it would be a nice conversation to have. But anyways, guys, my time's getting ready to wrap up here. I just one little shout out. There's this guy did my background. You go check it out. I'll put his channel description. His name's Nick. I'll put his channel in the description so you guys can check it out and show him some love. He's a Yeousch guy, and I really appreciate him doing the background for me. So anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of the game, and thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you later.
Sometimes, and that's why these numbers are special. That's it. The Mooseheads lost this game, and not in a pretty fashion.
They are hoping for instant amnesia. They got to forget about this one.